Hi, I'm Ken Vercammen, and I hope that we're live now because the video person didn't say the magic words live, but never assume anything. So once a year I try to look at, okay, let's talk about expungements and what's new. Well, the biggest thing this year is that the court system is saying we're going to automatically expunge all of the minor marijuana charges, hashish charges, and you don't have to do anything about it. The problem is when courts or anyone says trust us and we think it's going to be done, how do you know it's going to be done? What's your proof? And even one of my clients where the expungement was granted a year ago, he goes, hey, it's still on the N.J.S.A because the state police haven't done their job from a year ago. So when I talk to clients, I say, listen, what we can do is we can have it what's called expunged from the court system, these past arrests or past criminal convictions, but we cannot undo the internet and we cannot change, we can't make anything faster. If Bill Gates came to me and goes, listen, my nephew got jammed up last year and he has this criminal charge, here's $800 million and I need you to have this expunged in the next 3 weeks. I said, I'd love to have your $800 million, but nothing works faster than the government, and the law is the law. So what is an expungement? It's the court not erasing but expunging criminal charges, criminal convictions from the court records and sending an order requiring police departments and probation departments to remove it from their records. It doesn't require newspapers to take stuff out. Is that just like I mentioned, the court system says that we're going to automatically expunge it. They eventually email out an order. They say, don't worry, we're going to take care of it. So I'm going to talk about how easy it was under the prior system by paper, because then you had something tangible. We email out the information, we email out a questionnaire. One of the few good things about COVID is we used to have everything go through the system of handwriting it out. Now he says, listen, email it to us, and that way we don't have to worry about spelling someone's name wrong, etc. Once we get that and someone retains the attorney, we would type up what's called a petition for expungement, and it sets forth all the person's prior offenses, data violation, what they were charged with, what they eventually pled guilty to, or what was dismissed, and then we would also prepare what's called a form of order, where the court would schedule a court date 2 or 3 months in the future, and then we would send in a proposed order for expungement. Once we get it back from the court, then we used to send it by, and we can still do this for the people that say, listen, I'm more comfortable with the paper system where I have something physical. We have to send the expungement petition, the order for hearing, the order for expungement by certified mail to the Attorney General, the Superintendent for the State Police, and that's the most important one, the County Prosecutor, the Chief of Police in the department and the town where it took place, the court in the town where it took place, probation department, any jail where someone may have been overnight, and any other police department involved. So I say any other police department involved because if the offense took place at Rutgers, the Rutgers police were involved, and they're going to have records. Once we get the certified mail cards back, we have to send in the certified mail cards to the police. So even though the order for hearing says, okay, the order for the hearing date is September the 25th, the state police is taking 3 or more months to notify the prosecutor's office, and the court is just going to put everything back. So I tell clients, listen, why get bothered? There's nothing magic I can do to make it go any faster, and nothing magic we can do to make the state police do anything faster. About eventually the state police sends in a information to the county prosecutor whether or not the person fits the eligibility requirements and whether or not there's something that the person left out. So I've also learned in our interview form to say anything you've ever had in your whole life since you were 13 years old other than traffic tickets, because people were either intentionally or unintentionally leaving stuff out. You know, one guy, 2 years ago, he had a drinking a beer in public in Ocean City, Maryland, and he paid a $50 fine. It came up on his criminal history. One lady didn't put down 7 prior charges because it was her and her husband would have a fight. Ex-husband, they'd have a fight every other month, and the police were called, and there'd be complaints against both of them, and then they would kiss, and all the charges were dismissed. I goes, wait, you didn't put that, it says any. Oh, I thought that because they were dismissed. No, you thought wrong. Anyway, so moving ahead, once the prosecutor's office, once they get it from the state police, and let's say everything was done correct by the attorney, they send in a letter to the judge saying the state does not have an objection to it and leaves it to the court's discretion. Once the order is received, the final order for expungement is received from the court, then we have to send it to the Attorney General, the Superintendent for the State Police, the County Prosecutor, the local Chief of Police, local court, again, anyone that was involved. The most important one is the Superintendent of the State Police, because they're the official record keeper. Now, I also recommend to all my clients, I go, listen, what we're doing is this, I recommend you, as the client, do a follow-up and send a letter to each one of these entities with a copy of the order saying, hey, this was previously sent to you, please confirm you have removed it. And that way the client can do the 1-800-HARASS, the extra S's for extra harassment, keep bothering them until they actually do it. It's not really bothering the Superintendent of State Police, because some low-level person in the basement of the building that does this kind of stuff eventually is going to get it, but it takes it out of the local police department. Okay, so there are certain things that can never be expunged, even if Bill Gates pays the $800 million. Criminal examples are the bad ones you would assume: criminal homicide, kidnapping, luring, certain sexual assaults or criminal sexual contact if the victim was a minor, criminal restraint, robbery, plus you can't ever expunge any traffic tickets. You can't expunge a domestic violence family court restraining order, so that stays forever, even if it is dismissed. We tell people, if we handled the case down below, usually we only charge a $1,200, $1,500 fee to do the basic expungement stuff. It costs more if we didn't handle the case down below. Our old forms talked about the $52 for the filing fee. There's no more filing fee for an expungement, but you do have to pay the certified mail fee. Some people indicate, oh, I'm not sure. How can you not be sure? Well, I don't have the dates. Okay, I understand that. If someone is 1,000% positive, the only thing they ever had was, let's say they're shoplifting charge in North Brunswick and they've never been to court other than a traffic ticket, okay, you can obtain what's called a certified disposition from the municipal court. Some people, though, aren't really sure because they have more than one. I goes, listen, it's probably worth your time to obtain a criminal history, and the state has more or less outsourced how people find their prior criminal history. So there's a handful of companies that do this kind of stuff, Morpho track was one of them, but logistically, you go and get the fingerprinted, then it comes up on the state police database. Okay, now, it is the, last year, there was, what happened with, arrests that were not, proceeded with, they were dismissed. Well, if all the criminal charges were dismissed, you used to have to physically hand in the municipal court, a form filled out ahead of time, called this expungement order thing, and you have to say, you fill it out yourself and say, Judge, will you sign this, and then forward it into the courts, and the courts would, again, you're assuming they would do it. Last summer, there was a directive by it's called the acting administrator of the courts, directing that any arrests that were not resulting in conviction or adjudication now should, effective June 15, are supposed to be automatically dismissed by the court. That's nice that someone in Trenton said that, but don't assume that the Toms River Municipal Court or the Seaside Municipal Court has went through all their records and dismissed it. Also, it has to be all the charges arising out of that date were dismissed. So if someone had 3 charges, they pled guilty to 1, and the other 2 were dismissed, you still got to go through the formal court procedure. Now, also this year, something else happened. Okay, let's see, pot. Let's say lots of people love smoking pot. As an attorney, I used to make a lot of money defending all the pot people. Now they don't need us anymore because pot is not illegal in the state of New Jersey. Ironically, I said the word not illegal because federal law says it's still illegal, but and that's a subject for another seminar. They can't search people because police can't search people because they smell weed. They can't ask for consent to search. But anyway, with the weed cases, the Attorney General issued a directive to all the prosecutors. Listen, anything that's pending, the small possession stuff, you're supposed to dismiss now, and also directed it, and the Attorney General part of the directive, the court should expunge it. Well, the Attorney General can't order a court to do anything. That's a separation of powers thing. However, what has happened is, I think it was just last week, the court sent out an order. Talking about the administrative office of the courts in Trenton. That all these charges should be dismissed. Now, part of the legalization of pot, under a prior law, people were losing their driver's licenses, and then some people never got restored because they couldn't pay the whopping $100 fee. So the idea is, let's remove any license suspensions that were a result of pot cases. If someone was on probation for pot, their probation is over. Now talking about expungements, it's supposed to magically be expunged, but I go back to the original thing, assume is always bad, because I remember assume is a story where this lady assumed she had enough gas to make it from the Cocoa Beach, Florida to the Orlando airport, and had a rental car, and assumed there was enough gas because it was one of the rental cars you could return it empty. Assumed wrong because ran out of gas on the side of the road. Read the thing wrong. So a lot of many of our clients now goes, listen, let's see, it's worth it to me to pay $1,900 to have a physical order in my hand, and my belief that I have done everything possible because when people are moving from job to job, you don't want to have to if they do a background check for, hey, we're not going to hire now because of this thing popped up. By the way, employers on an initial application can no longer ask the magic questions, do you have any prior criminal, you know, arrests or convictions. The legislature said that was discriminatory. However, once someone is offered a job, they can ask that question, and they can also do a background check. All right. They, over the past year, there's been some changes in given the ability to do more expungement. So let's talk about arrests. I'll go up, you know, from the lowest to the highest. Arrests where there was no conviction, you know, you could have 10, you could expunge them. Youthful drug offenders, no limit, you know, someone could have like 5 while they were a kid. Juvenile delinquency, you can dismiss all except those serious ones that I mentioned, the robbery, you know, things like that. Municipal ordinance violations like fighting in Seaside or drinking in public or peeing in public in Belmar, no limit, provided you don't have more than 2 disorderly persons convictions. New Jersey does not have felonies and misdemeanors. They have what's called crimes, indictable offenses, and disorderlies. So think of disorderly as misdemeanor, think of indictable as felonies. There's 2 in disorderlies. You have disorderly, petty disorderly. You can expunge up to 2 offenses. And for indictable offenses, those are like it's 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree, 4th degree. 4th degree is the less serious. 3rd degree includes like aggravated assault, eluding things like that. So I told people call me over the phone and he goes, listen, until am I eligible? I goes, listen, until you advise me in writing what you have, I'm not gonna guess. And if someone says I'm not sure, he goes, well, I'm not sure what I can do for you. That's your job. You gotta try to figure that out. So let's see. People wait too long. It's kind of like you don't buy life insurance and then someone dies. Once they get the people that should have did expungements, all of a sudden have another one. And I go, did you ever get that other one expunged? Like I suggested you do? They go, I meant to do it. Okay, so you never did it, right? No, I never did it. And by the way, when we're in court and we finish up with any kind of criminal case, I give everyone a card. It basically says what to do upon being arrested, and it almost says shut up. But and then Alan Moraine, who's one of a very, very good attorney, gave me permission to use his line. Remember, even a fish would not get caught if it kept its mouth shut. So the idea is I give this one, and I tell people we finish recording. It goes, okay, you want to get an expungement? Then I also say, call me when you get your next one. And they goes, well, there's not going to be a next one. Next criminal charge. Because, well, you weren't planning a first one, but we're here today. I mean, the idea is if you have, criminal charges, then, you might, it's best off getting them removed so you can answer anyone truthfully that no, I don't have anything. There is a requirement now, even if you volunteer with minors, that they have to do a background check. So when I was a volunteer assistant travel soccer coach, I had to go through the fingerprinting because they wanted to make sure that molesters weren't out coaching kids. And the law came about out of South Brunswick, my town, because there was a YMCA at the time in South Brunswick, and a person from the prosecutor's office came to the YMCA and goes, listen, we like to, from the prosecutor's office, here's my badge, I like to ask you questions about one of your employees. And, you know, the people that go, oh, is he in trouble? He goes, well, you know, we're not, you know, under state law, we can't disclose that, but we often do checks, you know, background checks for employee reasons or other things, other just because they don't want to say, yeah, the person's being looked at, because then because you have the person fired anyway. So they you know, the YMCA, yeah, he's been employed this, he does this is his job, he works with the kids doing this, he's a good employee, comes in on time, hasn't been a problem, he's not drunk, etc. And you know, the detective for the writing down some stuff, and as the detective's leaving, he goes, okay, you know, I got what I need, you know, thank you. He goes, but he goes, yeah, I'm kind of surprised that you know, you have someone working here with kids that serve time. And the YMCA people goes, what do you mean he served time? He goes, you don't know? He served time for manslaughter of a minor. You know, I guess that was one of the questions that they asked on the application. Have you ever served time for manslaughter of a minor? So that made the Y look bad, and that came into having this, like, the background check thing. So, in my experience, people become putter offers. Okay, so on the expungement front, now the law, the new expunge law required that the court system set up a mechanism for doing expungements. Where you have the option of doing it by paper or doing it through the computer. And we did our first one in the spring, and well, the downside is you can't talk to a human being. You know, you're yelling at your computer. They do send you an acknowledgement, but I mean, it wasn't that, you know, when I did it, you know, because you know, I know where to put stuff in. Okay, you know, cut and paste the name, cut and paste date of birth, cut and paste in this, cut and paste this, and cut and paste this in, and you know, it still took 5 months. 5 months where a charge was dismissed via PTI, pre-trial intervention, and it was the person's first offense. But you know, so it, and then in the end we get an order, and let me see if I got the order looks, you know, something like this. And but basically it says, okay, you know, order granting expungement, the requirements have been satisfied. It is ordered that those different entities shall remove their records of the petitioner, blah 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 blah, and they send an unsigned type version to us. What we're doing is, that's nice that we get an email that says that they're supposed to do something. We still want to mail it out, especially to the superintendent of state police. And then I tell my clients, and I call them, I email them, I call them over the phone, and goes, listen, here's my suggestion. If you don't want to file my suggestion, hey, that's your call. And I have a fellow that says, oh, I'm still listed somewhere. He goes, okay, did you do what I recommended you do in 2020? No. Oh, well, you know, that's, you know, you should, you know, that's, it's not because I'm lazy, it's because you want that kind of follow-up. So the idea behind the online is to try to make it easier for the attorneys to get into the courts. You know, I tell people, you know, we can do it that way, but we still want to forward the order out. Lastly, there are, again, I mentioned we can't undo the internet, and there are companies that harvest people's mugshots, and then they charge you a fee for having the mugshot on. If there is a expungement order, then there's a couple other companies that go to bat for you and harass those companies to remove them with a copy of the court order, because it's less expensive for them to do it than have the attorney to do it. But if it's something that's if it's a story on the internet, a newspaper, we did a seminar for South Brunswick, and a newspaper reporter says, well, let's say they got it. Does this mean we have to change our PDF from our, a story? He goes, No, what's there, it's there. You know, just like if it's in a book, you can't make the library take the books off or find a Sharpie and cross stuff out. But it's really what's in those court system records. And I thank everyone for their attention. My name is Ken Vercammen, and I'm an attorney in Edison, New Jersey, on Woodbridge Avenue. Our office phone number, if someone needs an expungement, is 732-572-0500. So don't be a putter-offer. You know, just like some people don't get their wills done, they say, oh, I'm going on vacation next week, or I'm busy doing this, I'm busy doing that. When you need to do something, get it done. If you don't have your expungement, get it done. If you don't have a will, get it done. We've never had anyone after doing a will say, I wish I didn't do it. We've never had anyone after doing an expungement say, I wish I didn't do it. It's kind of like cleaning your garage once a year, or cleaning your basement once a year. You don't look forward to it, but once you see there's new space there, it goes, okay, I'm glad I finally got that done. And with that, we're concluding our video presentation for today, and it will be posted on YouTube someday by hardworking Sophie. And I wish everyone have a good day.